Now, this is what I think of the FX8370 processor. I think it's really good for the money. It's not going to be an Intel i7 6700K, but you get what you pay for. So I think with this processor, you're getting what you pay for, because you may not get hundreds and hundreds of frames every game, but you know those optimized games like Vulkan, Doom, or DirectX 12 games, they utilize the 8 cores way better than the older APIs. So in the future, this will start using more cores, and you get more use out of it. So you'll be able to start using higher end graphics cards with your FX 8370. I think it's really good for the money. And I don't see, like, people need to have real expectations because they get what they pay for. You're not going to pay $140 or $100 and get $300 performance. You get what you pay for in life. If you want the Intel 6700K, expect to pay at least $300, maybe $250 used, but still that's quite a money. And I think this is a really good deal for what you get. I think this is way better. This is way better than the i3, because the i3 has less cores. Yeah, it might have better gaming performance, but it don't have good multi-threaded performance like rendering and all that stuff. And this is really good, for the money, and it's cheaper. In the AMD motherboards are like dirt cheap. You can get them like online for like, mine is like like $120, and it can overclock really well. I don't overclock because I don't see the point, and all overclocking really does is just makes your shit hot. And this has better IPC. If you get the 8300 or the 8350, they're gonna have slightly less IPC, but the 8370, they give you slightly more IPC. And I think it's really good for the money. I have not run into any problems running with any game. I have a GTX 970. Actually, I got 970's SLI set up, so I'm able to run 4K on GTA 5. The settings are lower a little bit. I turn off anti-aliasing because what's the point? If you're running 4K, why you need anti-aliasing? You don't get any if it's running at 4K. So I really don't see the point running 4K with anti-aliasing. Maybe you, but just not me. But I really think it's a really good CPU for the money. You get what you pay for. You may not get Intel 6700K performance or whatever, but you get what you pay for. And I think this is a better investment because games are getting better, like with optimization, like using all the cores effectively instead of using just one or two. Games are getting more and more optimized with DirectX 12 and Vulkan, so you'll be able to take advantage of all 8 cores and rather just 1 and 2. So this is a really good CPU for the money, especially the FX platform. Even though it's 5, 6, 7 years old, it's still really good for the money. Even though how old it is, it's still able to keep up. Like in Doom, you compare like a 1080 with a FX CPU and not get any bottlenecks. You may get a bottleneck, but barely any. Like 2 or 5 frames, 5 or 10 frames. That's about it, I think. But because of the optimization and how well it's optimized, it's very good for the money. I think I'd rather have an FX83, FX8370 with a 1070 than a what you call an or no, not an i3, but an i5 7400. I'd rather have an FX8370 with a 1070 than an an i5 6700K with like a 1060. So I value graphics cards way more than CPUs because I think the graphics cards is way important. You might get bottlenecks here and there, but they're not going to be noticeable. And for what you get, not all games will run equally. Some games will run better with Intel, some will run better with AMD. It just depends on the game. Me, however, I don't have any issues running with any game. Like I could pretty much run 4K, but I don't got a 4K monitor right now. So at the moment, when I get a 4K TV or something, I'm going to utilize my SLI setup. So, yeah, but Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and have a good day.